What is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on today? You know what? I'm doing all right. So let's get right into it. Today we are talking about, well, recently Eminem had something called Music to be Quarantined By. And basically it was about 2 hours and a half of Eminem's greatest and most favored artists and his playlist and what he is listening to while in quarantine. So with this music on Shade 45 in this playlist, he also gave a lot of commentary on the different artists before he actually played them. And today I want to show you all and take you, well, not show you all, but have you guys listening to some of the commentary and what he think about it. So let's get right into it. Okay, now for this first thing, to get things popping, he started off with a little intro. I'm gonna play you all the intro, and Eminem, he's talking about how he feel about quarantine and how he felt about Corona, and he said the coronavirus can suck his dimples. Well, he didn't say dimples, but let's play what he said.
The boss is in the building. Virtually.
Yo, this is Eminem on Shade 45.
Direct from his home to you.
My hometown.
The rap god is now in control of Shade 45.
Taking over Shade 45. That's how I'm gonna start this off. I can't take this shit anymore. This shit is fucking coronavirus needs to suck me right in the dick. My name is Eminem. Marshall, whatever the fuck you want to call me. My name's Eminem. That's a stage name I go by. This is Music to be Quarantined By playlist.
You're checking out Eminem's.
So in this next little soundbite I'm gonna play for you all, Eminem, he talks a little bit about Kool G Rap and how he felt like he is one of his most favorite MCs of all time. And let's just go ahead and play that.
What's up, y'all? This is Eminem, and this is my Music to be Quarantined By playlist. I hope you enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed these songs over the years. Poor Righteous Teachers, rock this funky joint.
Shade 45. Shade 45, Sirius XM.
The hype is real.
So this rapper right here, this is one of my favorite MCs of all time. I know I've said it in a million songs, but I can't reiterate it enough, man. He really needs no introduction. I'll give you the introduction anyways. Kool G Rap, Streets of New York.
So you know what, guys, I want you all to think about your most underrated artists ever, hip-hop artists when it comes to rap. Think about that person. Who comes to mind? Now, in this next clip, in this next little audio clip, Eminem talks about this person being one of he think is the most underrated artist of like all time. When I think of underrated artists, me personally, I think of someone like Redman. Redman, it just feels to me like, yeah, Redman had his time and he had his time and blow. But I guess what I'm saying is that Redman's time, it really didn't match his success. Don't get me wrong, Redman had a lot of success and is going to go down as a legend, but still, his lyrics and what he brung to hip hop and the way he just did videos and played with the music and the way he rhymed, it's not spotlighted like, take Eminem for example. Like, his stuff still today, everyone knows him, whether you like him or not. But with Redman, yes, he's a legend, yes, he's gonna go down, but still, not today, everybody knows him, and they should. Not everybody do, because he was almost, he left his fingerprint on hip-hop in so many different ways. So that's why I say Redman, he haven't really got that hype. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, because some people, he's hype, he's the greatest, he's a legend. All those things are true. But anyway, this is what Eminem said.
So this next song is from my opinion, one of the most underrated MCs ever. I don't necessarily know that to be true because Pharoah Monch is not underrated with me, but this is an artist, and Prince Poe too. When they were with Organized Konfusion, this was like so far ahead of its time that this shit right now I feel like could compete lyrically with some of the top MCs of today. So this is called Bring It On. I even be getting more graphic than no Neo G, a 32-bit computer chip. You slip between my lips and then I spit it out. Go ahead, spit it out. That itty bitty style, you upchuck. Better believe I'm about fuck MCs from the rear. It appears you're stuck up. Crazy. Had not been done yet. This is Organized Konfusion. Bring it on. Here.
Okay, so this next one, me and Eminem, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. You know, I don't really agree with Eminem on this, but this next little piece of audio you're gonna hear, Eminem, he talks a bit about a person that he feels should be mentioned among the greatest amongst hip hop and rap, and he should be mentioned when you're talking about the greats. Now, I did go back and I listened to some of this guy's stuff, and actually a whole album, and a lot of his music, and like I said, I'm gonna have to disagree with him on this one. But anyway, this is Eminem talking a little bit on who he feel is should be mentioned among the greats.
Here's another MC that I feel like needs to be mentioned with the greats. And this is one of those rappers that it was so unorthodox what he did when he first came out, but it was like methodical and calculated, but it also was like had this weird kind of quirkiness to it where each rhyme scheme would just fall wherever it hit the beat, and it just ended up sounding great. So this song right here is by one of my favorite MCs of all time, Special Ed. It's called Taxin'. This next group and rapper that I want to talk about had an album called Breaking Atoms.
That's for you. Okay, so next, Eminem, he talks about, you're about to hear him talk a little bit about what he feels is probably the most important album of all time. This album was groundbreaking as it marked something new for the culture. When you talk about something being super important or massively essential, you're talking about its impact on a culture or a change or a direction. And this is what he feels is one of the most important albums till date. I'll let him explain it. But, you know, before he explains it, this particular song that he's about to play, I remember it being, like Eminem said, you'll hear him, it was the introduction of one of my top 3 rappers of all time you're about to hear, and I enjoy this guy. So now let's play the clip.
This next group and rapper that I want to talk about had an album called Breaking Atoms, and it was one of the most important albums in hip-hop, because not only was Large Professor extremely skilled, but the way that it was produced, the way that it was put together, and you had one of the greatest MCs of all time to make his debut on a song on that album. But it's not just that song that's crazy. The entire album is such a fucking classic album. If you haven't heard it, you should go back and get it, listen to it, because this was also the first time that the world was introduced to Nas, and this is called Live at the Barbecue by Main Source.
Okay, so you see, in this next piece of audio, hip-hop had already started to make its way and its move, and like I said, leave its fingerprint on the earth. But in this one, Eminem, he talks about this was the particular song that made Eminem realize that, man, hip-hop, it's here to stay. You know, from the graffiti to the beatboxing to the dance to everything. It was this very song that he knew, all right, hip-hop ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
So this next song reminds me of trying to rush home from school to Catch Your MTV Raps, and the first time that I saw this video, EPMD had done something to me that had not been done yet in hip hop, and it was the way that they mixed funk with, like, you know, the beats with like a mellow vocal tone, and that shit was so crazy because I don't think anybody had really did it yet like that, and it was just so swag the fuck out. This is when you knew, like, to me, that hip hop was not going away. So this is EPMD, You Got to Chill.
Oh, before I forget, in this next audio, he showed Beastie Boys some love.
You got to chill.
You got to chill.
I feel like, based off the documentary that just came out on the Beastie Boys, it is only fitting that we play another one of probably top 5, if not at least top 10 albums, most important albums, and most impactful albums in the history of rap. License to Ill by the Beastie Boys is such a fucking classic album. I can't even, like, I still listen to it constantly to this day. This is Rhyming and Stealing by the Beastie Boys.
Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you to think again. I want you to think about one of the greatest songwriters. Who would you rate one of the greatest songwriters of our time? Now, when you think, I don't want you to just think of someone that has a good song or has a good beat, but a songwriter, they have this ability that when you hear this song, it stitches a sense of passion and awareness in the very fabrics of your being. Listen to me be all artsy and fluency. Oh no, but seriously, who would you say is one of the greatest writers of all time? I want you to think about that, why I spin this thing here. Okay, so you thought about it? Let's listen to what Eminem had to say, because Eminem, he talked about the greatest, is that gonna hit me? One of the greatest songwriters of our time, of any time. Get right into it, Em.
Okay, this next song is from an artist that I feel like might be the greatest songwriter of all time. Debate what you want about MC skills and all that, because he had that too. But this is one of them songs by Tupac that, to me, was like, he was showing you, like, I can write heartfelt shit and I can write lyrical, crazy shit too. They say pussy and papers, poetry, power and pistols, plotting on murdering motherfuckers for to get you. Like, the play on the P words and all that shit, and like how he was doing it was so crazy, mixed with the feel that Tupac could give you, which is constantly why I feel like he was always saying, can you feel me? Because you felt Pac. You can't just listen to Pac, you would feel Pac. If you listen to him, you're gonna feel him. But anyways, this is Tupac, If I Die Tonight.
I'm nicer than Pete. I'm on a search to crush milk bone. I'm everlasting. I mean, like vanilla ice and silicone. I don't know, the verse goes something like that. But Eminem, he said that those like 2 lines, those 2 bars, it was probably the first time in history, or I don't think anyone. Actually, it's the only time in history where someone dissed like 1, 2, 3, 4. He dissed like 5 people. He dissed 5 rappers and like 1 bar, 2 bars. What was the song? I can't think of the song that first come from. I don't just give a, maybe that's the one. But anyway, why did I say this? In this next clip, Eminem, he wasn't dissing them, but he showed some love to his predecessors, MC Search and who else? I'm on the question. I forget who else. It was MC Search and who else did? Oh, Pete Nice. He showed some love to Pete Nice, and he told them to stop fighting because they've been in this fight and suing each other and stuff. Yeah, if y'all don't know the story, it's a pretty funny story, interesting story. And they did diss tracks on each other. But you know, when Eminem did that verse on all 5 of those rappers, they did come back at him. All 5 of them. Now, their diss tracks didn't amount to anything, but yeah, that's probably a video in itself. Anyway, let me play what Eminem said.
Third Base, the Cactus album. And this is one of my favorite songs off that album. It's called Words of Wisdom. Shout to MC Search, man. Shout to Pete Nice. Y'all stop arguing. You made some classic shit. Shout to Daddy Rich, too. Shout to me. I'm gonna give a shout out to myself. I forgot my name.
Okay, so this last person, I'm actually glad he mentioned him. I talked about him a little bit earlier being one of the most underrated, my most underrated rapper, but he talks a little bit about Redman being his friend and definitely among the greatest.
Okay, so on the subject of favorite MCs of all time, this one particular has to be up there with the greats of all time, and that is my friend Reggie Noble. This is Redman, Rated R.
Direct from his home to you.
Oh boy, guys, I ain't gonna lie. This video, it wore me out today, so y'all better hit this thing with a like or dislike, any type of interaction. Okay, so we are coming to the ending of our video. Let me just say that I like to know, what do you all think? What do you all think about Eminem's list, about his commentary before he brung in the the large Jamar joint? Okay, yeah, I need a barber. Okay, but anyway, I almost forgot about large Jamar joint. Last but not least, they did play something that we can play in the outro because it won't get copyrighted. He played, I guess this was a shot at like Large Jamar, because we have, as you guys know, 2 years ago, MGK and Joe Budden, they took all the L's. Like during that time of Kill Shot and I've Been Better Than You, they were taking L's left and right. Here at Evolve, we ran out of L's to give, so we start giving R's, and R's stand for like anything, like ridiculous or ratchet or rest in peace or just retire. It could mean anything. So in response to Large Jamar and whatnot, they shade 4 or 5. There is this joint that they played that we'll go ahead and play in the outro. As always there, guys, KIP, keep it positive. I will see you all in the very next video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, alright? Okay, I'll see you guys.
Rotten, rude, ruined raps. Gotta get this off. Gotta get this off. Gotta get this off, cause you know you wrong. You gotta get this off. Let's get it. Gotta get this off. You gotta get